The Companies Act 2013 provisions, together with Ministry of Corporate Affairs, have made it compulsory for all companies to file their financial statements and other reports in prescribed format with the Registrar of Companies during every financial year via a form named Form AOC4. This presentation is created with a view to provide a summary about the form and the details attached with the same. Let's see to it. Here we mainly deal with the provisions in regard to which we file the form, due dates as per various situations, fees applicable, additional fee if any, penalties as per the circumstances in a wider aspect. Apart from this, what are the basic documents that are to be filed with ROC, how the form is filled, filed, uploaded, payments, and certain basic requirements for its successful accomplishment. Through the section of basics, we shall deal with the due dates, penalties, fee applicable, documents dealt with, etc. Let's move on. Let's see what are the various sections and rules on the basis of which we file Form AOC for. Section 129, subsection 3. In case if the company is a subsidiary company or the company has subsidiary companies or associate companies, the company has to file its consolidated financial statements along with Form AOC4. This is stated by Section 129, subsection 3. Section 137 clearly states about the due dates and penalties for late filing. Section 403 specifies additional fee applicable for filings done after prescribed period. Rule 12 subsection 1 tells about the mandatory requirement of filing the financial statements along with Form AOC4 with the Registrar of Companies. We shall see when are the filings to be done, that is the due date for filing the financial statements along with Form AOC4. A one-person company shall do the filing within 180 days from the closure of the financial year, and in case if the company is not a one-person company, that is in case of all other companies, within 30 days from the date of annual general meeting, and in case the AGM is adjourned, within 30 days from the date of such adjourned AGM, and if no AGM is held, with the statement of facts and reasons for not holding the AGM within 30 days of the last date before which the AGM should have been held. That's all about due dates. This is the pictorial representation of the fee applicable for Form AOC4. In case if the share capital is not applicable, it is 200 per document. If the share capital is applicable, see to the amount. In case if it is less than 1 lakh, it is 200 per document. From 1 lakh to 5 lakh, it is 300 per document. From 5 lakhs to 25 lakhs, it's 400 per document. 25 lakhs to 1 crore, it is 500 per document. And for all greater than 1 crore, it is 600 per document. This is the overall fee structure for Form AOC4. Let us see to the additional fee that is applicable on the basis of number of days of delay in filing Form AOC4. In case if the filing is done within 30th June and the period of delay is less than 30 days, the additional fee would be 2 times the normal filing fees. And in case if the delay is between 30 to 60 days, 4 times the normal filing fees. 60 to 90 days, 6 times the normal filing fees. 90 to 180 days, 10 times the normal filing fees. Beyond 180 days and up to 30th June, 12 times the normal filing fees. In case if the delay is beyond 30th June, then we have to refer to section 137 subsection 1 and 92 subsection 4 of the Companies Act 2013. If the delay is beyond the period mentioned in these sections, then the additional fee would be ₹100 per day. This is the overall additional fee structure in case of delay in filing Form AOC4. Let us know what is the penalty if filing is not done properly. If the company has filed the return, there is no penalty as we know. But in case if the company has not filed, the penalty is applicable both the company as well as the designatories. If a company fails to file the copy of the financial statements, then it shall be punishable with a fine of 1000 rupees for every day to a maximum of 10 lakh rupees. And in case of officials, that is managing director and CFO, if there is no managing director and CFO, the director who is in charge of the board, and if there is no such director, all the directors of the company shall be punishable with imprisonment or a fine. that is imprisonment for a period which may extend to 6 months, or a fine with minimum 1 lakh rupees and maximum 5 lakh rupees, or with both imprisonment and the fine. For filing AOC for, we require certain documents mandatorily and certain documents on the basis of their applicability. The mandatory documents include the balance sheet, statement of profit or loss, director's report, auditor's report, board report, etc. The documents on the basis of their applicability are AOC 2 if there is related party transaction, AOC 1 in case if there is subsidiary, if the company has any kind of CSR policy, or if section 135 is applicable, company CSR policy details, if secretarial audit is applicable, secretarial audit report, and in case if no AGM was held, statement of facts and reasons for not holding the AGM, and if provisional unadopted financial statements are adopted, statement of facts and reasons for not adopting the balance sheet in the AGM, and if there is any extension of financial year or AGM, the approval letter for such extensions, and in case C&AG has passed any kind of comments or conducted supplementary or test audit, then the report of such audits as well as details of comments of C&AG of India. These are the documents that are required to be attached with Form AOC4. Now we are getting to the actual content, that is how to file the form, the procedure of doing it. Before going in detail, let's see what we are about to do in a brief way. First, get into mca.gov.in, go to MCA Services, download the form from it, unzip it, fill the form, check the form, sign it, do pre-scrutiny, then again log into MCA site, submit the form, make the payment, and track the form status. This is what we are going to do. Now let's get into it in detail. For filing the form, the first step is to download it from the MCA site. Not only Form AOC4, for filing any of the forms, the first step is to download it from the MCA site. Just go to mca.gov.in, select MCA Services. We will be getting a list of options. What we need is to download the company forms. So select company forms download. We will be directed to a list of forms. In this list, under annual filing e-forms, we could see AOC4. We can see there are two options, e-form with instruction kit or e-form alone. In case if we need help to fill the form, go for e-form with instruction kit, else go for e-form. Then a zip file will be downloaded. Just unzip it. We can see there are 3 PDF files here as I have downloaded e-form with instruction kit. One is the AOC4 form, one for additional attachments, one is the help file. It can be referred while filing the form in case of doubts. Open the form AOC4 file. Then a pop-up appears like this, asking, do you trust this document? Should it be allowed or blocked? We have to select allow. Then the form appears like this in PDF format. As we can see, the first segment of this form asks for basic information and particulars relating to balance sheet, that is, the company, meeting, report, and balance sheet items details, etc. That's available from the various reports of the company. Let's see to it. The first details we could fill is the SIN of the company, which as we can see is available from master data of the company from MCA website. With this information alone, we can fill all of the details in this page by clicking Prefill button. Type this in, click Prefill button. We will be asked to save the file again. Just do it, then open it and press Prefill again. Then we shall get the authorized capital, name, address, email ID of the company autofilled. We should always remember to keep the internet connected while using the Prefill button. These details we could get from the balance sheet, the period of financial statements, directors who have signed it, etc. In case of details regarding people who have signed it, whether the directors or other officials, we have to provide the DIN in case of directors and PAN for all other officials and just the date of signing it. Then click Prefill button, details get auto-populated. Nature of financial statements depends on whether it is revised under any sections, adopted, or whether we have filed any provisional financial statements. In the fifth question, we are asked about details on date of directors meeting and details of directors who have signed the report, which is available from directors report. We have to fill date and DIN number, then click pre-fill. Details of directors get auto-filled. Then dates of signing the auditor's report, AGM. In case if it's extended, its extension details have to be filled. In case if it is extended, the details of extension has to be provided as attachment. The 8th and 9th field deals with related party details. Say whether the company is subsidiary, then details of the holding company, and if it is a holding company, its subsidiary details. Details of auditor. What we have to do is just provide the membership number after providing the number of auditors. Then click pre-fill. All details of auditor gets auto-filled as given here. Also give the SRN of ADT1 file for appointment of the auditor. If we have given the firm registration number, then only the firm details get filled. So the details of auditor is to be filled again as highlighted in C here. The 11th question asks for applicability of Schedule 3 and the type of industry. That is, if the company is a banking company, insurance company, power company, or NBFC, or any other type of companies. All companies other than banking, insurance, power, and NBFC are going to choose commercial and industrial as their option. If the company is associate, subsidiary, or holding company, then as we know, the consolidated financial statement has to be adopted and it has to be opted here. In the 13th question, we give details on the location where the electronic form of the books and records are being kept. In case of any service provider is maintaining the electronic records of the company, we shall provide the name, IP address, location, and mode of maintenance details in this section. In case if there is no such service provider, this area remains blank. The second part deals with the balance sheet and related items of the current period as well as the previous period. This can be filled using the balance sheet prepared by the company. Apart from the format of the balance sheet, we can also see that the details of the same is asked for. That is, in case of long-term borrowings, its split is asked, amount of bonds or debentures, term loans from banks, institutions, deposits, loans and advances, secured and unsecured part, etc., which could be filled from notes to balance sheet items. Similarly, detailed schedule of short-term borrowings, doubtful and undoubtful loans and advances, trade receivables is also to be filled. Under financial parameters, we are asked about the detailed structure of share capital and debt sources, assets, depreciation, net worth, etc. Under the section Share Capital, there is an analysis of the ways by which shares are issued. Bonus issue, public issue, private placement, ESOP, etc., which is available from the notes about the share capital. In case the company is mandated to conduct cost audit as per Companies Act provisions, select Yes in the section Details regarding to cost records and provide the details of the same. In this segment, we just give details on items in statement of profit or loss. First, we give the statement of profit or loss as it is with revenue, expenses, earnings per share, tax details, etc. Here we provide the earnings and expenditure in foreign exchange. The financial parameters where we fill details on proposed dividend, earnings per share, foreign currency income and expenditure, subsidies, grants, rent paid, related party transactions, bad debts, etc. Details relating to principal products or services of the company is also provided. That is, the number of products or services is to be selected, their service or category code is selected from the list provided, their turnover, description, etc. is also provided. Then, that product or service which provides the highest turnover is described with their description, code, and the highest turnover. In segment 3, we shall give the details of the CSR activities in which the company is engaged. Ensure all the details mentioned here is to be given as an attachment with the form. First of all, refer section 135 of the Companies Act 2013 to know whether CSR is applicable to the company or not. In case if it is applicable, see if the turnover and net worth of the company is auto-filled. If it is not auto-filled, please fill the turnover and net worth of the company for the previous financial year. Then what we have to do is we have to fill the net profit for the preceding 3 financial years of the company. Ensure we provide the profit before tax as well as the net profit under section 198. This adjusted net profit shall form the basis for calculating the average net profit, and 2% of the average net profit form the prescribed CSR expenditure. In case if the company is having average net loss, the prescribed CSR expenditure can be filled manually. Then we have to fill the total actual CSR expenditure done, split up of the same, amount spent in the local area. Before providing the split up in the tabular form, we have to provide the number of CSR activities engaged. In case if the number is more than 20, it has to be provided as an additional attachment. The last detail to be provided is that whether the responsibility statement relating to the CSR activity is given as an attachment with the board's report. In case if it is given, please select the option yes. This segment is applicable if the company has any kind of related party transactions. The related party include the related party as per AS 18 and section 188 of the Companies Act 2013. In case if the company has any kind of contracts, arrangements or transactions not at arm's length basis or at arm's length basis, provide the number of such transactions separately to a maximum of 20. For more details, please attach the complete details with this form. The fifth segment explains the details in the auditor's report. In case of a government company, select whether C&AG of India has commented upon or supplemented the audit report under section 143 of the Companies Act 2013. If the Auditor General of India has commented, provide the details of comments and the director's replies on same. Select whether CAG of India has conducted supplementary or test audit under section 143. Select whether auditor's report has been qualified or has any reservations or contains adverse remarks. If the auditor has provided any qualifications or adverse remarks, provide the number of adverse remarks, enter the details of auditor's qualifications, reservations or adverse remarks, as well as the director's reply for the same. Then select whether CARO, Company's Auditor's Report Order, applicable. If it is applicable, select one of the following relevant option against each of the particulars in the tabular form. That is, if it is favorable, unfavorable, disclaimer, or if the clause is not applicable at all. The last segment, segment 6. Here we shall state those details not mentioned in any of the above sections. That is, if secretarial audit is applicable and whether detailed disclosure with respect to director's report as per section 134 subsection 3 is attached or not. Once we have filled it, what we have to do is attach the documents that are to be filed with the registrar along with form AOC 4 as per the provisions. Click the attach icon in connection with the attachment to be made. A drop box for selecting the documents shall appear. Just select from the location and attach clicking open. In case after making attachments, we feel like the attachment was wrong or is to be changed, click the remove attachment icon located at the end of the blue box after selecting the attachment to be removed. One of the mandatory attachments is the financial statements including board's report, auditor's report and other documents, and all other attachments depends upon the requirement. That's Form AOC 1, AOC 2, Statement of Facts and Reasons, Secretarial Audit Report, C&AG Report, Test Audit Report, etc. In case if we have to attach any of the things mentioned in the list, it could be attached as the additional attachment. However, ensure all the attachments are at their least size. After filling the form and making attachments, authorization is to be done by the designated official. We have to select the designation of the person signing the DRC. That is the director, manager, secretary, CEO or CFO. Then attach the unexpired digital signature of the official selected. In case the person digitally signing the e-form is a director, enter the approved DIN. If it is CEO, CFO or manager, enter the PAN. If it is a company secretary, enter the membership number of the secretary. Apart from this, it's also to be certified by a practicing professional. We have to enter the details of the practicing professional and attach the unexpired digital signature. After filling the form and before placing the digital signature, the next step is to click the check form button. System performs form level validation like checking if all mandatory fields are filled. System displays the errors and provides you an opportunity to correct errors. We have to correct the highlighted errors. Click the check form button again and system will perform form level validation once again. On successful validation, a message is displayed. Form level pre-scrutiny is successful. At this point, we shall place the digital signature. The modify button is enabled after you have checked the e-form using the check form button. If we do feel like making any kind of changes in the form, we can click modify button, make changes and click check form again. Once all modifications and checking is over and digital signature is placed, we could go for pre-scrutiny. We shall click the pre-scrutiny button. System performs some checks and displays errors, correct them and click pre-scrutiny again. If there are no errors, a message "No errors found" is displayed. Ensure there is internet connection as well as we have placed the signatures before pre-scrutiny, as the next step is filing the form. As the filing is done through the MCA website, the submit button cannot be activated and hence it shall not be utilized. The last step of filing is to upload the form and make payment. For this, first we have to log in to the MCA site, go to MCA services. We can see many options. What we have to do is uploading the form. So go for upload e-forms. We can see a screen with three options: normal, resubmission, linked. What we are doing is normal form. So select normal form, go to browse. Here, we will be directed to a drop box from which we can choose our form from the location it is saved. If the form is more than 2.5 MB, it cannot be uploaded. In case if it is more than 2.5 MB or the things that exceed 2.5 MB are to be given as additional attachment. Once we select the form, then click upload. Next step is to make payment by clicking pay fee option. We have an option to make the payment later too. Once we complete it, we will get a successful upload message and an SRN which could be used for tracking as well as making payment if not done during filing the form. It is always the confirmation step of any filing to see if what we have done is completed. So here it could be done by tracking the SRN. Just log into the MCA site, go to MCA services, go for track SRN. If you know the SRN, track by number, or if you don't know the SRN, but we remember the date of filing, track by date as it is given here. We could see the list of filings done on the date, just see the status of the same. If it is approved, then it's over. In case of any other status, just see the discrepancies and fix the same. As we have gone through the entire slides, we could see there are some necessary things without which we could not complete the filing. That is, we need the details of the auditor as well as the director. That is the PAN and DIN for directors, the membership number for auditors, their address, and the details of all the people who have signed the report, etc. Apart from this, we have seen for completing the filing, the unexpired DRC of the auditor as well as the director or the official who is signing the report is required. Throughout the filing, for pre-filling, pre-scrutiny, uploading, etc., internet connection is required. So for this form, internet connection is mandatory. The forms can be filed in MCA only if you can log into it. We need a login ID as well as a password. Forms once downloaded gets expired if it is updated in the site. An unexpired form cannot be uploaded. If it gets expired, we have to fill it again from the beginning. And the main point is the size of the form after all the attachments shall not exceed 2.5 MB. In case if it exceeds 2.5 MB, it has to be given as an additional attachment. Thank you for watching this presentation. Hope this helped to bring an overall idea about one of the E forms applicable to companies, that is Form AOC4.